Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am the badass Buddha, Dr. Lori Monaco, your authenticity teacher, speaker, and coach, waiting for Gladiator Guru to get on. She was having some connectivity issues. It says that she's on, but she is not on. It's saying that she's not connected. So she'll be on very shortly. And let's see if we can let her know that she is not on. So good morning, everyone. Make sure that you post what you're drinking this morning as we get Gladiator Guru on. We're going to have a phenomenal show. It's a money show. It says you're not on, Gladiator Guru. Oh, she popped back off again. Okay, so make sure you share your coffee. So we're going to be talking about more money. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? What was it? In Living Color, right? That was like the best show ever. No, Luis, I'm not solo today. Gladiator Guru is coming. She's having some connectivity issues. So she's going to be on. Don't worry. She's coming. Let's see what she says. I didn't want to hold the broadcast up because Facebook just drops you off after a certain point. So if we start too late, then Facebook says bye-bye. So no, I am all the intention of having Gladiator Guru on as soon as she gets on. So good morning to you, Luis. Luis is always like the first one on. Good morning, Desiree. And good morning to everyone. It's Thursday. It is gloomy out here in Southern Connecticut, and it is, but the temperature's not too bad. It's cool, but I'm waiting for that sun, that consistent sun. And thank you, Desiree. She says I look beautiful. Yeah, see, I wait for that moment. Where everybody gives me those compliments. Yeah, right. All I thought of was this morning, and it's funny because since Gladiator Guru is having trouble this morning, I was thinking in my head, oh my God, it's like we have like 2 minutes to get on. And I was already on, but I wasn't like, sitting at the desk just yet. And I said to myself, if we only had 30 more minutes, because I was doing like the mom thing. And then with Gladiator Guru, knowing that she was having such issue. So anyway, but thank you. I appreciate that because I got up early. I don't know how this happened. I got up early. And I was doing my thing. And the next thing I know, it's like 5 minutes to broadcast. And I was like, what the hell? I didn't have my coffee yet, like in my cup. So good morning, Michelle. So for those of you that are just logging on, again, it is, I'm not doing solo today. Gladiator Guru is having some connectivity issues. She will log in very shortly. We do have a phenomenal guest today, Anna Felix. She is known as the financial GPS. So we're going to be talking about money stories. And the reason that Gladiator Guru and I have decided to really pump up a lot of guests that are financial people has to do a lot with our own personal journey. Our transformational journey has been, for Gladiator Guru, it's been many years, and she just keeps one-upping herself. For me, I couldn't get the F out of my own way until like about 5.5 years ago. So it's been a relearning process for me. And even with Gladiator Guru, there's always something we need to work on. That's the beauty about transformation, is that there's always something that we need to work on. And oh my God, out my window, I'm just looking at a hummingbird. How cool is that? And hummingbirds always signify stuff, right? So Michelle Houston, you're probably good at that stuff. Tell me what a hummingbird, I know what it means, but I actually kind of forgot. So see if you could post it. But anyway, so we all need help in some element of our life. And so Gladiator Guru and I, we're so similar. We're so different and we're so similar. And there's certain things that we're similar in, is that this little bit of a money block thing, So it is about the money story. It's greatly about what we think and what we believe and what we think that what we believe that we deserve, And I've been hitting what's called the glass ceiling like crazy what is it, June? So over the last 2 months, I've been hitting a glass ceiling. And so the ceiling is just to the level of your comfort. You get you push yourself, and then now you're going to have to push through that glass ceiling, to get way out of your comfort zone. And I'm at that level. I'm like banging my head against this glass ceiling. So we're pushing this because we're ready to take our businesses to the next level. We're ready to take Viva to the next level. So once again, we're hoping that you all are sharing and liking and subscribing. If you're on Facebook, great, do all of that stuff. If you are on, if not, then go, and even if you are, go onto the YouTube and subscribe and get people to subscribe to the channel. We have, as of yesterday, we're at 69, but I think I pushed it a little bit yesterday on a networking call that I was doing. And I think I got 3 people to sign up. So we're happy with that number. We'd be even more excited if it was, if we're at 72, let's say, or 73, we'd be happy. We'd be even more excited. We're at 73,000, and we do get a lot of views, which is fabulous, but most of the views come off the Facebook page. So Gladiator Guru, if you are listening on the Facebook page, honey, get on, because I am missing you. So I'm going to talk about my coffee. Everybody put in what coffee you're drinking. So I'm drinking Red Barn. I'm drinking Red Barn coffee. This is out of Massachusetts, and they're really, I do. It looks like I'm having, oh, there we go. For a minute, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Connectivity issues all over the place. So this is this coffee. I love this coffee. It's actually really, really tasty. Especially because, Gladiator Guru and I have been drinking our coffee a lot, black more often than anything. So much for the cafe con leche. But that's mainly because of the restrictions that we put onto our eating, although we've taken a hiatus from that. We're in like what's called the maintenance phase. So I did put in some coconut milk, and I believe that's what she uses as well. So, okay, so I'm going to see what Michelle came up with. Thanks, Michelle. So it says hummingbirds, meaning the hummingbird generally symbolizes joy and playfulness, as well as adaptability. Additional symbolic meanings, lightness of being, enjoyment of life, being more present, independence, bringing playfulness and joy in your life, lifting up negativity, swiftness, ability to respond quickly, resilience, being able to travel great distances. Oh, I love all of that. That works perfectly for me. And that's not the first time that I've seen right outside the window. I've been seeing hummingbirds. I saw them last month, but I haven't seen any in probably about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. So thank you for looking that up, Michelle. I'm going to quickly see where Gladiator Guru is. I miss you, Gladiator Guru. So does everybody else. Okay. So what I'm probably going to do then is I'm going to quickly, we're going to set the intention and the mantra at the end of the show, because our guest, Anna, is she's only able to stay on right at the top of the hour. And us, we tend to talk a lot. So what we'll do is we'll set our intention as soon as we're done with our guest, Anna, and it'll give Gladiator Guru time to get on. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest, Anna Felix, on so we could start talking about money mindset, and then Gladiator Guru will join us. So welcome, Anna Felix, and bless her heart, right, Anna? I believe you're on the West Coast, right? So you got your ass up early this morning. We so appreciate our guests that get up this early. Good morning, Linda B. Good morning, Connie. So let's get Anna on. Good morning, Anna. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, it's nice and early here.
I know, look how dark it is over there. So we really do appreciate all our East Coast people that come on. We really, truly do. And for those of you that are just jumping on again, Gladiator Guru is coming. She's just having connectivity issues. So Connie, your sister will be here shortly, and Linda McBee, glad, because everybody loves the Gladiator Guru, and they definitely want her on. So she's coming shortly. And so in the meantime, though, we're going to start with our guest, Anna Felix. So Anna, tell everybody a little bit about your business and what you do, and then let's get down and dirty on the money mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, I am from Central California. I am a smart money strategist. And what that means is I help people to figure out the best way to grow their money. And it kind of came out of a journey that I've been on myself. I know you mentioned earlier in the show, I mean, we all have our money stories and things that have happened in our lives. And it wasn't until I got in the industry that I realized that we all have a money story. I didn't even know there was such a thing. And so I not only help people, strategize specifically with the money, but there's a lot that goes on in our head. And it's important to address that as well. And so it's interesting that we all have this different journey.
And what you have a pretty good story yourself, like, so if you want to share that, as much or as little as you want to share, that would be great.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, before, if you told me, 15 years ago that I would be in this industry doing this and working with these wonderful women, I would say, no, I don't think so, because money was just not the thing that inspired me. Oh, it looks like we got her.
Gladiator Guru, yay.
I'm here. Good morning, because it's a beautiful morning.
Oh my God.
Good morning.
We flipped in just a little bit because Anna's got a hard stop right on the top of the hour. And by the way, I was
hearing you, but
okay, good.
Trying to get out.
Listen,
by the way,
you look absolutely fucking hot. Oh my God, look at you. Like, you are just rocking it. So we're just happy that you're here. So we're glad that you got on to be able to see you looking so hot this morning.
I'm happy I'm on. I'm sorry for my delay, Anna Felix.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
She carried it well.
I do stutter without you. I will tell you, you definitely fill in the gaps for me. So I appreciate that. So Anna's just getting ready to tell her the reason she got into what she's doing. She's ready to tell her story. So
go ahead.
Go for it.
So yeah, this will be the very abbreviated version, but essentially in 2005, my family and I had a very severe car accident. My husband and daughter had severe brain injuries. And for 5 years, we struggled with that. And you can imagine that money was a big issue because we had to sell our business. We just, mounting medical bills, just all the things that happen when those type of tragedies hit your family. And then 5 years later, I lost my husband. And so now I was a widow. And what struck me, among many other things, was I needed to get my money story together. Like, what was I going to do? Like, I needed to figure stuff out. And so I went looking for help. I wanted someone to, guide me. These are the things that you should do. This is why you should do it. I wanted to understand the path I was on, at least. And I did not find anybody to help me do that. I found, men that told me, you don't need to understand this. I don't need to explain this to you. Like, whatever. I even had one that told me, just marry a rich guy and then you don't have to worry about it, as if the man was the plan, right? I was like, what is this? So it just inspired in me that maybe I could become the person that I was looking for. I didn't even know if that was possible or not, but I thought, hey, something's got to be better than what I'm finding here. And so I started my journey, and I've now been in the industry 5 years. And it was, like I said, lots of details, but the end of the story is that I'm here to help others avoid having that situation where you midlife and you realize you don't know enough. And so we can start where we are. Like, today can be the beginning of a whole new story. And that's what's exciting.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, see, this is the joy of live broadcast, right? So we have people that come on late. Then we have this person who has no idea where her child is that needs to get on the bus very shortly. So I've got to go look for her little ass and find out where she is. So I'm going to leave that. I'm going to just check out for a second. But Anna, like, talk to us about what we need to do, like, as women, like Gladiator Guru and we're doing this because that was one piece that was always like, there was always an interesting story behind that, And so you get to a certain age and you kind of start to say, I can't do this. It's too late. I'm embarrassed because I should be, we should on ourselves. I should be somewhere else by now. I don't have anything for retirement, or something happened, like you were doing everything right and then the rug got pulled out from underneath you. So what would you recommend to the tribe to start like really getting into it. Don't be fearful, like start that conversation if that works, if that's good for you.
Yeah, so for sure. I think, wow, there's so many places to start, but one of the things is, just realize that you do have a money story. So you had mentioned at the top of the hour that, you feel like you're hitting a glass ceiling. That's one of those things, like just kind of check in to, where am I? What do I feel about money? Do I feel like it's difficult to create money? Do I have friends that maybe I see like it just looks like money flows, like they don't even think about it, like it's just flowing in all the time, and I'm over here like, this is hard, like I don't know how come I have limitations, what's happening, all of those things. It's all part of your money story, and just kind of realize that you even have one, that you might have some preconceived ideas around money that maybe you got when you were a child. And that was one of the things that I didn't realize, is that we kind of absorb what we were raised in and the environment that we were raised in, and the thought we adopt the thoughts of those that raised us. That's just how it is. And so maybe if there was a trend always in your family that maybe the women always made less than the men, or you were told that it was hard to make money, that you had to work very hard, and maybe you've internalized that and you don't even realize it. So I really think the start is to just, and it's kind of what I did when I realized that we all have a money story, was, what are my true beliefs about it? Like, why do I have these issues? Why am I fearful of it? For me, I got a lot of fear, and that maybe money wasn't a good thing. And so I didn't even really know why I thought that, because my father had really different ideas about it. He grew up around a lot of money and it was super easy. But on my mom's side of the family, it was more like, and I never really thought about these things, honestly. Like, this was literally something like a self-discovery of just going through and figuring out, what could be my conflicting ideas? Why do I have these feelings? And what came up for me on my mom's side of the family was, I realized that my grandma had a story that she always told. And I realized that the limiting beliefs and the fear around money could have come from that. And it's kind of a crazy story, and I won't go into all the details, but she was 4 years old. She was on an Azorian island, and her mother was murdered. And she saw her mother as she was dying on the bedroom floor, and her best friend had come in and slit her throat. I know, like a lot of heavy stuff in the morning, but when she would tell this story, you could just tell it was like she relived it every time. And at the end, she would say, the reason she did that, like, it was her best friend, like, what a horrible, horrible thing. But my grandmother's family had bought a new home and they were moving to the city. And the best friend just got super jealous, and she had a lot of children, and her best friend was moving away, and just whatever. Obviously, there was a lot of other things going on in her head.
Oh yeah,
like, yeah, this is like a show somebody would.
It could be a movie.
It's a lifetime movie.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. So, but what connection did my grandma make to that was that because they were doing better, they were moving to a home, they had more abundance. It was a bad thing, because look at, she lost her mother because of it. And it's weird. Like, I didn't realize, like, wow, that could have just been something that I had absorbed, that fear and that thing around money. So, identify that. You might discover something in stories that you've been told that you're just like, whoa, how could that have affected me? And so I think that's a good place to start.
Yes.
What do you think, Gladiator Guru? Like, what is your money story that you've come to learn about yourself?
I've had money. I think we've had this. I've had money. I didn't have money. I've had money. I learned how to value things. So I'm not this great shopper. I don't spend it because I have it. It itches because it's dear and I went so long without. But it's taught me that. I grew up very poor in one of the worst housing projects. I remember having oatmeal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if my sisters are on, they can chime in and agree. My older sister remembers more than me. I remember our house really didn't have a lot of furnishings. So I think subliminally, we all adapted that, where our houses need to be filled with love and in our own things. But money was always something that other people had and not me. Like, for some reason, they either were lucky or blessed that they have generational bank accounts that trickles down, and we just didn't. And that was my earlier thoughts. And then, you go to work and you try to save and you do things, and then you lose everything because something happens unexpectedly. So in my money story is, I'm gonna be 53, and I feel like I have constantly been restarting my life. And I don't care how many more times I reinvent myself, but I still want to have my cushion always growing, not starting over. So I want to change my money story. And I can, as long as I have breath in me, it's never too late. So that's where I'm at.
Well, and that is a story, right? Because I'm the same way. Like, I would get to a certain level, and then, I would somehow self-sabotage, so it's like Gladiator Guru she would have to reinvent. She'd have to constantly start over. So that's the story. So the story is, okay, so how do we disconnect the money piece of it from the other stuff? Like, the transforming. You're fabulous about starting over. You said it. You have no problem. It's you don't mind doing that. Well, all you want to say now is, okay, I'm good with this piece, starting over, reinventing myself, but fuck, I want the money piece to stay steady stream upward,
Yes.
Like that's, and that is the story, like that is what and we are really influenced by, we don't realize how influenced we are by how we were brought up, like, I mean, my parents always hid the money. Like, they didn't want us to know how much they made. If we asked, they said, it's none of your business. And then I always heard we can't afford it. Oh, I can't, you can't have that. We can't afford it, And and they worked a lot, like they worked a lot of hours, and we always had stuff. I mean, I grew up very suburban, but it's like they found money, but there was always there's always this extra effort to, so if I asked for something, it's not that I wouldn't get it. It's just that I either get it the next year when it wasn't like cool and in anymore, or it was, or that I had to have, like, back in the day, I walked uphill, to school in the rain, in the snow, uphill both ways kind of deal. So I had like this whole explanation, and it was almost like, oh, not even worth asking, for anything after a point, because you had to have this whole backstory behind it, But even then, when I started making my own money, I still felt like I wasn't worthy enough. And I was always wanting to give it to other people and like help other people. But all for the reason of making people like me better, which that was a hard one to deal with. So
it's hard. And I love your story. I love when you say you grew up suburban. I grew up urban and welfare. So when my mother said we can't afford it, I don't have no money, she wasn't lying. We lived on, I was a welfare baby for the majority of my, up until I was 18. So and you learn. See, the thing with that is, the blessing in being on the opposite side of the tracks is you learn survival skills. You learn how to survive. The downside to that is that you maintain that survival skill mentality. And I don't want that survival skill anymore. I don't want to live based on survival. I want to live on just being fucking phenomenal and not worrying and saying, okay, let me build here, but let me enjoy this. So when I leave a legacy to my children and my grandchildren, then that's how I've lived and how I taught them to live. That's what I want going forward. Because I might be going on 53, Anna, but I drop it like I'm 17.
I know, I can see that.
So Anna, like, do you find that women have more of a story than men as far as, preventing themselves from taking in the money. Because understand something too, that when we're talking about money stories and when we're talking about having money, right? Because you could say, oh, I have money, I go here, I go there, I love this, I love that. But the goal, the inevitable goal is to be able to do all the things that you want to do and not charge it and like be in the red. Like you want to, like if you're going to create the money story and redo it, you want to say, I want to make a shitload. I don't even say I want to make, I make a shitload of money and I pay, through my debit card, oh, we're going to go for an African tour. Okay, here you go. $20,000. There you go. I got in the bank. So because that's the other piece too, is that we also need to program the fact that we want to make the money and that we want to have the money sitting there for the joy that it can bring us, for whatever joy that is, and not say, okay, well, I'm going to go here, go there, because I want to live my life. That's great. But you also don't want to have like a $20,000 credit card bill, because that's still part of the lack money story, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's all part of it.
Yeah. So what do you think is the challenge with women? Like, what is it about us women that we're more in that mindset of not deserving or not pushing ourselves higher compared to men? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we have internalized these things that affected us, and these things that we tell ourselves, because as women, we're so hard on ourselves. Like our internal story, like what we tell ourselves sometimes. I always tell people, whatever you say to yourself, try saying it out loud every once in a while in the mirror, and then realize what that sounds like. Like you would never say that, even to
another person. Yes, I agree with you.
Never say that to somebody else. So that's the thing is, as I said, being aware of your money story, and then, asking, is it really true? I mean, what I've been telling myself, is it really true? Is it true that I can't make more? Is it true that it's hard? Is it true that I'm not worthy? Because now when you kind of take it out of the realm of, just pretend you're someone else for a moment, is all of this stuff true? No, it's not true. So how can I look at it differently? Make that switch. Why do I deserve? Create that new story for yourself. So why is it that I deserve? This is what I do. I help other people. I want to create a legacy for my family. All the reasons why you're deserving of it. And if you really focus on that, it really can change the way that you consider it. Create a new story for yourself. So you've both mentioned this morning, like I'm starting over. I want to have a new story. And literally that's what you need to do. Like, and be specific.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, like saying I want to have a lot of money, that's okay. Yes. But it's not a tangible amount. Set a goal. Like I would feel, I feel really good when I have X amount of money in the bank, just as savings, as play money. Be very specific with that. When I retire, I want this much coming in, because your brain needs to be able to register specificity. Like, what is it that I'm really going for? Because otherwise it's not going to be able to connect you with things that you need to be connected with.
That's the truth. And if you don't mind me interrupting, even if you mind me, Anna, I'm going to interrupt you anyway.
Too bad. It's your show. You're fine.
So that's the truth, because if you say, I want a lot of money, the universe does not know what the hell that means, because what a lot of money to one person is different than another person. So if you say, I want a lot of money. Okay, what do you mean? Well, okay, give me a number. All right, I want $250,000. Okay, what does that mean? Do you want $250,000 in your bank? Do you want to win $250,000? Do you want to earn it every year? Do you want to make it a month? And so that I got to tell you that this has been my journey, and that is exactly one of the things that I've been slowly becoming, realizing that and hearing it over and over and over again, that you've got to be more specific. So I came up with a number. Okay, but what does that mean? Do you really? And then comes into, somebody said the other day, we were in a group meeting and somebody said, the person that was in charge said, so how much do you want to make a month? And the person said, oh, I want to make $25,000 a month. So somebody else in the group said, well, why not make that in a week? And another one said, well, why not make that in a day? And then all of a sudden you like, I started to think, oh, well, how can I make that in a week? How can I, and then all of a sudden that's the money story. It's like, all of a sudden it's like, why can't we make that amount of money? Like, what is it? Because we always focus on, well, how am I going to make that amount of money? It doesn't matter how right now. It just matters that this is what you want to make. And then you figure out the how, because it presents itself to you. Listen, I'm going to put Gladiator Guru out here because Gladiator Guru is an artist. She's a writer. Okay. She is. Oh no, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So she's got literally a gallery of her paintings in her house. Oh. And I say to her all the time, I'm like, do you realize that if you sold these, you would have X amount of money, because she's that good and they're beautiful, right? And all she needs to do is literally set up her own, like, this is what I'm doing. This is how much this is going for. People will buy it. People will buy it. And she's been on the fence about, like, well, I kind of like she paints for herself and it brings her joy. But there's a point where at some point, where will you like say, okay, you know what? Yeah, I get that, because I want the joy you know what I'm saying? Like, I want the joy hanging in my house.
Yeah.
Because I love her stuff. Right. So we sometimes don't think about those things. We're saying, okay, I want to make X amount of, we don't realize what we have right in front of us. That is the how. So instead of focusing on the how, start with what you just said. Pick a number. Number one, say that you deserve it. But pick the number. Say, how much do you want in your bank accounts? Like the exact number. How much do you want in investments? How much do you want to be making?
I already wrote it as Anna was talking. Very specific what I want to maintain in there without touching without the extra in both accounts.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Well, and that's huge, because now you have a specific thing that you're focused on. So that's one of the things, is getting very specific on what it is that's going to make me feel good. And that's a different number for everybody. That's a personal thing. I mean, you can share it, you don't have to, but just know and have your brain focusing on that. And then every day be grateful for what you do have, because that is super important. You cannot increase and do better unless you are happy now and very grateful for what you have now. So
yeah, gratitude's big.
Appreciate gratitude. Always, somebody just said, giving ourselves grace. Yes. Yeah, appreciative for the journey that you've been on. Appreciate the money story that you had. Love on that. Like, that's where I was, and I am now beginning to be open to something else. It got me here, and boy, I'm so appreciative for that. I'm appreciative for the journey I've been on. Yes, it's been very difficult, but I have a different outlook on life. I appreciate every moment. I am no longer that person that, only brings out the special dishes for the special occasion. Guess what? Every day is a special occasion. Every day we can get together with our friends and enjoy, a glass of wine, whatever it is, that is special. Be in the moment and enjoy that right now. And so we can appreciate what we've come from. That story no longer serves me, though. And so it's okay to put that line in the sand and say, you know what? I'm a different person. This is what I now deserve. This is what I now know. This is what I now appreciate. And whenever you're writing those things, I have a journal. I was just going to pull it out. So I have a journal that I write in every day. I don't know if you can really see that, but it's right here at my desk. And when I wake up, I write, 3, 4, 5 things, whatever's on my heart that I'm grateful for that day. And then I write down my goals. And it's interesting, kind of a brain hack. You need to write on white paper with a blue pen. So they say that connects to your brain differently than anything else. So that's what I do. White paper, and I write it with a blue pen. And I write down, what my goals are.
What do they say when you write a no-line paper? I don't like lines because it constrains me. It makes me feel like I have to follow their rules. No-line papers for as long as I could remember. So blue. Okay, that's good. I'll change when I'm writing my goals and I'll change it
write
to
in
blue.
blue.
Yeah,
Blue
I don't. I always write black. Who would
and
have
the
figured
lines
that?
don't matter. Create your own lines.
That's right.
In
What about
shape.
off-white paper? Does it have to be white? Could it be off?
Well, I like the white because to me it reflects back to me like loud, like it's telling me in a loud voice, this is what you wrote. It holds me accountable.
Yeah.
So that's why I like the white.
You know, I've always just heard it's the white and the blue. I don't know about off-white. I just adopted it and I've done that. And they also say that it's good to write your goals in the future with your non-dominant hand. So I'm right-handed. They say that it's really good to write, you know, in my case with my left hand.
Oh my gosh.
Because you're creating new pathways in your brain. And that's what you want to do. You want to.
Yeah. That's
I've always
true.
done that only because if something happens to my right, but I always practice spelling my name. I'm cursive all the time. I only write separately when I gotta like print my name, and how boring is that? So that's why my heart hurts that they took cursive out of school. I know it's a whole side thing. But yeah, and you know what? When you practice it, I'd be like, come on, Margie, you can do this. So it's like I'm encouraging myself over writing my name with my left hand. But I think it's...
That's great. It's called being ambidextrous. But in this case, the reason we do it is because we are retraining our brain. And so you want to use your non-dominant hand to do that. So when you know, part of, you know, every day, what is my goal for the day? What is my goal for the, you know, always have those things in your mind. And then, you know, affirmations are always a really good thing. So, you know, money flows to me easily. There's so many different things. Just think about what you want and then create an affirmation for that. So one of mine is money flows to me easily, consistently, in increasing amounts. So, you know, adopt whatever idea feels good to you, and then, you know, focus on that all the time, because that is, you're creating that new pathway. Hey, I'm creating new pathways in my brain today. And, you know, that will help you just have a completely different mindset. And, you know, share your journey with those that you hang out with, because believe me, they have them too. They have, even people that are successful, they have imposter syndrome. They feel like, you know, they're not good enough. We all have these internal things that we say to ourselves. So, you know, another thing they say is really good, you know, in the mirror. I mean, it sounds, you know, kind of weird. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, that's weird. I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror. But, you know, it's important. You're awesome. You're going to have a great day today. Like, you're going to go do something wonderful for somebody. All of those things, it's important to say them to yourselves. We say them to each other. We love to encourage each other, but we got to love on ourselves enough to say, hey, I'm worthy of this. I can't help people if I'm not helping myself first, you know. And if you have art to share with the world that they can benefit from, you got to share it. We got to share the joy. I mean, in the beginning, when I started working with people and their money, you know, I felt like, oh, I'm new in the industry. Like, you know, but what I do is so super unique, the strategies that I use. And I realized I was worried more about myself and what I thought. And that's not cool. I got to put other people ahead of me, because there's so many things I can do to help them. So how can I spread the joy? How can I help more people? And when you start focusing on those type of things, it really makes it different. And you see that the resistance is really, really less and less, because initially you might have resistance to, you know, if I'm talking about making $25,000 a month and then somebody says I could do that in a week or a day, I may not be ready for that. Like, that might be too much for me. Everybody has a different rate of growth. And I hear someone else say that, but it's good to expand my mind, because, hey, I hadn't thought about that. Like, wow, I'm thinking I could do this in a month. And somebody else is saying, okay, that's a possibility. I'm beginning to be open to, I could make this in a day. Like, you know, have that conversation so that it starts to internalize, and like, okay, you know, initially that might sound like that's not possible, but as you start to think about it, hey, why couldn't I? Like, I'm not worried about the how. I'm just worried about what's the possibility. What would I love to have and see? And then recognize that, I mean, literally about 2 weeks ago, I went through an old journal when I first started this journey. And I look at it now and think, wow, I really was so limited in what I was thinking. I mean, but it's okay. It was part of the journey. I can go back now and look at it, but I can see the growth. And that's what's great about keeping a journal is you can go back, you know, even a month and see how far you've come. And so that's really encouraging too, to see that I've expanded. Like, look at what I was thinking there. And I'm so much further down the road. Be super happy about that. You know, something else I did that was kind of an interesting exercise in the beginning when I was just super limited in my beliefs, and there was a money coach that told me that I should write a letter to money.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Okay, tell me about it. Do tell.
Yeah. And so it was really interesting because I just had never thought about that. I mean, we have relationships with people and friends and family, but what was my relationship to money? So that was a really interesting exercise as well. Like, just really get it out there, put it on paper. And then you start to realize, okay, so this is what it is. It's materialized now in this letter. How do I want to change that? Like, what kind of friend and buddy would I want to have? I want my money to have fun with me. So it's not all about just paying the bills and doing that. Like, you know, if money is my friend, what are we going to go do together? Like, you know,
that is a really, really, I highly recommend. That's a very powerful thing to do. I was very shocked when I wrote my letter because the way it came out, it came out, the way I feel about money is the way I feel about relationships. Mm-hmm. And what I learned about money coincided completely how my relationships have all gone, where they are unreliable. They are good sometimes, and then they crash. And it was, so I just kept writing and writing. At first it was like a little bit hard. And then after a while, this shit started coming out. And then I look back and I'm like, holy crap, you could have replaced money with any person's name that I was ever involved with, because that's how it read. And I was thinking, oh my God. And then that was a big realization for me to say, wow. So look at the way money's been, my relationship with money has been exactly the same as my relationship with other people. Mm-hmm. And it was very eye-opening. The only thing I haven't done yet was change, because that's the thing. Once you write the letter and you identify where you are, right, then if you look at it like I did and go, holy crap, this needs to change, then you have to rewrite the letter. You have to write a new letter based on what your ideal, So that's the only thing I haven't done yet. So thank you for reminding me. Because
I have to write my letter. I thank you for saying that, because see, money has never been like an enemy to me. Money has always been like my grandmother. Like my grandmother's spirit is through money, because I may not have built a savings but money always comes to me right when I need it. Whether it's the amount I need or it's like when I don't like stress big time, because on the 11th hour, money always shows up. So it's like a grandma, you on your birthday, Christmas, Easter, whatever, you're always going to get that card with money in it, right? Mm-hmm. So I need to rebuild my relationship with money as, just a one-on-one with it, and call it my lover, my best friend, my sugar daddy. But that is always going to be there, instead of just saying, well, it's going to show up, because that's one thing, that blessing has never let me down.
But do you see where your story is? It's beautiful. You're right. It will show up. But it always shows up the exact amount that you need. And so the story that needs to change is motherfucker, look, I don't want just this. I want this,
Yeah,
like
not the 11th hour. Like
Exactly.
all the
But what I'm
time.
saying is that definitely has to change. And I know
Yeah.
this now. And Anna, you and I have spoken on a different Zoom, but
Mhm.
it's never been a bad relationship. I've never been upset that money hasn't flowed to me. I've never been like angry at anything, more laissez-faire where it's going to come. I'm not going to lose sleep over something I can't change, blah, blah, blah. So now I have to rebuild and redirect that one-on-one relationship. Like,
Right.
Papa, I'm happy you show up when I need you, but I need you to want to be with me all the time.
All the time. There you go.
And
There you
grow.
go.
And grow for me.
A reliable lover in my case.
That's what I'm going
In my
to need
case,
to
a
do.
reliable lover.
Yes, you're always there. And put those words down. You are always there. Like, we're always having a good time together. Things are always, that's the thing. It doesn't matter where it was, as you said, whatever my story was, recognize it. And now this is the new one. And that's exciting. Like, you get to decide what it's going to be. Like, it's totally whatever's going to make you feel good, whatever's going to make you, fill you up, make you happy. That's what it gets to be. And that's the exciting thing, is that we can create it. We can have what we want. We just have to reprogram the brain, do it consistently, be focused on it. And now I'll catch myself saying things that are disempowering, whereas before I didn't even realize it. So now, I'll say, every once in a while, well, I can't afford. No, it's not that I can't afford it. At this moment, that's not my focus. At this moment, this is my focus. And that changes a lot when you start to become conscious of what you're saying and how you're saying it. It takes a little bit to break those habits, but you will, and you'll be aware of, is this what I'm saying and what I'm feeling right now, is this going to contribute to my money growth later on? And so if you start to be conscious of that, you'll catch yourself, and then you can change it. Well, you know what? That wasn't the most empowering thing. What I really mean is, and then you can change that. And it just like everything else, it's a habit. What do they say? 21 days of doing that, and you'll start to realize, hey, look at how far I've come. Now I'm positive, and I do get unexpected checks in the mail. That's another one that I put out there. My mailbox always has unexpected checks. Money's coming from places I don't even know. I make money in my sleep. All of those things are things that you can think. Whatever feels good to you, you can do that. And then you're on your way. You have your story. You know what it is. You come to terms with it, and then you make changes and you make those transitions, and you just keep doing it, because you'll remove some limiting beliefs, but then new ones will pop up, and then you can remove those.
And it's about being aware of it too, right? Because like if you're going into it saying, oh yeah, money's just going to flow to me, and then you get like a check for $20. I love that. Like when you shift something in the insurance and you get this check for like $19.26 refund,
And
you always
so
look at it go,
I get so excited.
Or you go, really? Like, it's just like $19, like 26 cents, but we can't be that way. Like, we have to be like Gladiator Guru. You have to be excited. Hey, this is $19.26, right? And you have to say that this came to me. Like this came to me. You have to believe in the fact that we could always turn around and go, oh, well, but right. I switched my insurance, and of course I got a credit. They didn't have to give you a damn credit. They could have like put it into the bill and made a credit, but they gave you a check. Yeah. So what are you going to do with the check? You're going to take yourself out to lunch. You're going to put it in the, whatever, Yeah. And we have to decide that we're done with the story. So like, if you are a broke ass and you are saying, I'm tired of being broke, I'm tired of just barely getting by and like paying my bills. Well, the question is, are you done with that story? Like, are you done with saying that? Are you done with feeling that way? The reality is a lot of people really, truly aren't. They're not done with it. They say they are, but they'll be the first person to start complaining about it.
And that's the worst kind. Those that pretend that they're okay and tell you, and then deep down, they're just miserable and see the glass is half empty. And and I can't heal those. Though that's like, you can only do so much.
That's
but
right.
I think when somebody cash apps me $20 for my book, I get excited. When somebody buys my $8 organic wax melts, I get excited. I feel like I did like $1,000 for the day. I am so excited when money flows my way. I'm so excited that I did something to contribute that exchange where I have the money for it. And so it has nothing to do with my past. Because like I said, I've had money, I had no money. And so it's not to where I need money. I'm just grateful for it. Just like a hug, you know? I'm grateful for those moments of orgasmic joy.
So maybe, and it's beautiful. Listen, and it's beautiful, Gladiator Guru. So how about this? Here's what we'll do. You and I will challenge ourselves. So when you get that $20 for the book, you go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for this. What else you got? Come on, like let's see a bigger amount, like challenge. I think that's the other piece is there's gratitude, and let's poke the universe a little bit and play with it, because I think the universe is like that. I don't think the universe.
I don't use those words, but when I do get a check in the mail or I get somebody buying something that I made or created, I'm so excited, and I always say, thank you, God.
Yes. Yeah.
And to me, that's not asking, how stop begging, you make people want to hate you type of thing. So I just say thank you, because in being grateful, you're opening up the boom.
But what if you said, come on, what else? Like, you know what, you want to, like, what else you got? Like,
no, that's not my spirit. I don't do that. It's more so like, thank you. Like, I'm grateful. Because what I do say is I always keep singles in my car. Let me tell you something. Whether I have money or not, I don't touch those singles, because I love when I see, and it's not everybody I see, it's specific. It's wherever my heart is drawn to. I give them to the homeless. If I see them, that money's there just for that cause. And people always tell me, why do you do that? I don't care what they're doing with it. If it comes from my heart, I do it, because I always say, if I give in kindness, then I'll receive it back thricefold. And I don't give for that, but I've lived to see that. So that's what I just say, thank you. I don't know. I haven't said, okay, I want more, because to me that and we have that problem is real that you guys mentioned, where I can give my time. I gave 10 years of my time caregiving. Now I'm starting my new projects, and it's scaring the shit out of me. Like, if I'm not worthy of it. So I've had several, my kids especially, like, are you kidding me? But I have to come into that. I have to fall into that. And Anna, you said when you found those old journals, which I'm sure Badass Buddha has several of them as well, that you were like, oh my God, like, you look at where you were. That's what happened when I published my book in 2006. That was 10 years of poetry I carried until I gave birth to it in 2006. So when I reread it to do my second edition, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, that looks like I was such a hopeless case. But it was who I was at that time. Yeah. So it needed to be republished in the second edition, with additions in the beginning and in the end from where I'm at now, because it served exactly what I wanted it for, as a teaching tool, that it's okay if you were here. It's not okay if you stay there.
Right.
And so it's about, the flow. In my book, it gives you like, it's a teaching book. Like, yes, all this could have happened to you, but this is where you can be. So you said that, and I thought about that, because that's what life is about, right? It's going back and say, okay, I was here. Oh my God, I was here? For how long did I allow myself to be here? I don't want to be here no more. So yes, Badass Buddha. So I got that $20. Oh, I wish 10 more people buy my book today. You know what I mean? Because it all adds up. And why my book? Because I'm so proud of that book. And my art, when I've had art shows, like I had a solo exhibit in Norwalk, I did make money, and I sold most of my paintings, and I froze. And you're right, Badass Buddha. Normally I have my house set up to where it's a walking gallery. But with the pandemic, I haven't had that. But,
I don't mean to interrupt, but I know Anna's got to go. So yes, Anna, like, let everybody know how they can reach you. Anna is fabulous to work with, so definitely set something up with her, and we're going to post her information in the description and in the comments. So how could everybody reach you?
Yeah, so Facebook isn't letting me my company did a rebrand at the end of April, so I'm working with Facebook to get it changed, but right now it still has the old company name. So it's Anna Felix Cow Choice Financial. We've now changed to Mod, but it says Anna Felix Cow Choice Financial Smart Money Strategist. That's on Facebook.
That's the whole title?
Yeah.
Anna Felix, what again? Say it again.
It's Cow Choice Financial.
Cow Choice Financial, right.
And then Smart Money Strategist. And I'm working on removing the old company name and just having Anna Felix Smart Money Strategist, but they're making me go through some hoops to get that done. On Instagram, it's A Felix Smart Money. And then on LinkedIn,
A Felix Smart Money. No things.
No, nothing. Okay. All just one. And then LinkedIn, it's Anna Felix Smart Money. So, and my phone number is on my LinkedIn. I mean, it's, you're welcome to reach out to me, whatever way you prefer. You can text me, call me, email me. It's Anna at, the new one would be Mod Financial, MOD, like for modern, Mod Financial. That's the new company. All of the recent branding that you'll see coming out about that is that. And that's a whole nother conversation. Once we have money coming in, that's the first step. And then once we started to create that, there's so many cool things that we can do with it to make it grow, to make it tax-free, to make it accessible all the time. Those are all the things that we can work on. So it's yeah. Lots of fun steps. This was awesome, ladies.
So thanks, Anna, for coming on. Thanks up so early. We really appreciate it. So you can go ahead, and I know you got that stopped. So you can go ahead, and Gladiator Guru and I will close up the show.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful day.
Great. Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
So that was like absolutely fabulous.
Well, that was needed. She was needed. That was phenomenal. And you know what? She needs to do this money. She would do good on doing like a meditation video, because her voice, and just talk about what to think about money, how to manifest it. I think she would just do great with that. Like, she's so calming, because money can either make you very irate or just block off to it, because some people just can't handle it.
Yes.
And her voice is very welcoming and very relaxing to hear her speak about money. If anybody is on that can agree, say that. And I'm listening to her. Like, she doesn't make you afraid or embarrassed or ashamed to
that's
be
the big that's the big piece there, because I think for a lot of women, because there's a lot of stories out there for us women, and we want to go to somebody that we know that we can trust, and that we're not like Anna. This is what we loved about Anna when we interviewed her. Anna is she's so real, and her story is, she had a tragic story, and she had to start over. And there were a lot of pieces that were not put into place before the accident, and then after her husband died, and she had to rebuild. And the beauty of it is with Anna, if you make an appointment with her and you start crying, because finances can be very emotional, she is such a person, she's such a beautiful entity and energy, that she'd be so comforting and nurturing, and you wouldn't feel odd about doing it. I know for sure that, and no offense to men, but I know that when I'm ready to start actually working with a financial person, it's definitely going to be a woman, and it's going to be specific, because even still, there's certain women, I've met so many, and there's certain women that I feel very drawn to, and others that I love them, but I don't want to be so vulnerable with them. And like Anna's somebody that I definitely would not have an issue being vulnerable with, and this is, if you want to be the best version of yourself, you've got to let that shit go, and you have to be vulnerable and to be able to break free from it. And so, make sure that whoever you're working with, you feel that total comfort with, and maybe Anna will be that person. And maybe it's Joanna, because Joanna was fabulous too, that we had on last week.
Absolutely. I think if you're on, contact Anna. Even if you feel like you're okay, contact Anna, because she'll help you be phenomenal. Arlene Gonzalez, I'm so glad you're on. Yesterday, I thought about you. I spoke about you. Yesterday was my granddaughter's graduation. And normally, I like chokers. And I saw a badass Buddha with her elephant. And I love elephants. I've collected elephants for most of my life. And I put on my necklace yesterday, Arlene. And I asked Tiffany, do you remember where I bought this? And she's like, oh, my God. Tiffany was 10 and my son was 6, and it was at Shoney's where you worked, Arlene. And I think it was Kissimmee or something. And it's still in its original thing. It's still everything. So yeah, I wanted to go on my page. There's a picture of me, Tiffany, and Anaya, and I have it on. And I was like, I had this since my son, who's now 31, was 6 years old. And I was like so excited. So thank you for say I had to dig it up. I was like, where is my elephants? Because I have several. But badass Buddha, you did good without me this morning.
You look really, I love what you're wearing. You look fabulous. And you're so tan looking too. You must have, were you sitting outside for the graduation?
No.
Oh, you look tan.
No.
I'm like as white as can be.
I try not to get out, but everybody who's on, hello. I apologize for, I don't know what happened. I have this thing called eye imaging. If anybody knows what that is, on my iMac laptop, right? So, and it just kept trying to connect the phone that's not even connected to the laptop, and it kept scrolling, so it wouldn't allow me to get on. Because it would come back to that screen, and then I tried to restart, and it wouldn't restart because that thing kept buffing. I don't know what happened there. But anyways, I apologize for being late. I don't like
okay.
Viva Cafe Leche is my heart. Like, and I'm up early and I'm showered and my coffee had gotten cold, and I'm like, what the heck? So my sisters and everyone else, thank you for coming on this morning.
Listen, we didn't do the intention and the mantra, so let's definitely leave people with that today. So you had, do you have an intention? Did you create one for today? I have the mantra,
yes,
which is a good one.
And it's very simple. And I was thinking of it last night where I'm at right now. And it's just, I am grateful. I deserve the gifts of life. I am grateful and I deserve my gifts of life.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So set that intention for today. And the mantra for today, along with the money. Oh, my dog barks right at that moment. I love money because I love living an awesome life. That's the mantra for today. I love money because I love living an awesome life. And it is from Jen Sincero's. I highly recommend this book. If you want to change your money mindset, that is a fabulous book. It gives you exercises to do. And it makes, I'm telling you, and she's just a freaking awesome writer anyway. The way she writes, it's just so real. So definitely start working on your story. Enough is enough. If you believe that you, and even if you don't believe that you deserve more, talk to other people. They're going to tell you you deserve it. So that's the first step, is that you have to deserve that you believe that you deserve the money and to make great money. And then once you get to that piece, now you have to manifest it. And so we are here as part of your tribe. Be around the people that are going to support you, not around, I know Anna said about, being around your friends, but you want to make sure that you're around the friends that support that growth, not the ones that say, what are you thinking about that way for? Or you're going to be right where you are. You're a broke ass. You'll always be a broke ass, blah, blah, blah. You want to get around the people that are going to support you. So we are here for you. Right, Gladiator Guru? And we're here for ourselves too. We're following, we're right there with you.
All day. And remember, you said something very important earlier. You said to be specific, because when you say I need money, the universe, unless you are like very specific, the universe is not going to know. But that also goes for your mindset, because if you're constantly just dwelling in this dark space, then that's what the universe is going to provide you with, because it doesn't know. So don't blame anybody but yourself. If you got to get out of that, you got to crawl out of that hole that you dug, crawl out of it victoriously, and then put yourself in a space of abundance, because the tribe will support you. when you start believing in yourself, really, because if you're just laid back, not doing anything, the tribe can't work for you in that way. We could tell you, come on, let's do this. And then, not there's X amount of times, but please just believe in yourself. And that's why my intention, be grateful that you have breath in you and believe that you are deserving of everything that life has to offer. Everything. Yeah. Money, absolutely. True love, loyalty, abundance, health. We all deserve all of that, but it's not given to us. It's not going to be served on a platter. We got to be committed to ourselves, and then we got to, pull our sleeves up and do the work. So let's get to working and contact Anna, for God's sakes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So thank you for indulging us and staying 5 extra minutes with us today. Oh my God, my dog. I'm telling you right now. It's like saying, oh, that's the end of that. So on Tuesday's show, Addicted to Food with Karen Sammer, we're going to have Karen back on. This is going to be a phenomenal conversation. We're very excited for it. And my dog, I'll tell you. So anyway, everybody have an absolutely beautiful, beautiful weekend. We will see you next week for sure. We are working on, normally we have the clubhouse, right? Viva in the clubhouse on Mondays. We're still deciding whether or not we want to keep that day and time slot because we don't really have a lot of people coming on. We haven't had anybody coming on really. Like the last one was one person, then before that was none. So we're going to let you guys know. We're going to make a decision this weekend, but we want you guys on there as well. And you get an extra chance to work, to talk to us. And I believe we have whatchamacallit next week, right? We have, let me see. Yeah, we have Viva Moms After Dark next week too, as well. So fantastic. Okay, so thanks everybody for coming on. I know I'm a little distracted because of the dog. And thanks for hanging out with us. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And Michelle, you have a beautiful day. And remember, breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone. Breathe out that bullshit.